Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's June 19th, 2026, looking out at the Boulder Mountains from Osberg Ridge. And if you're still enjoying this broadcast, we ask you to do a one-time donation, or even better, sign up for that monthly sustaining membership. Today, it's going to start out with mostly sunny skies, but then it's quickly going to have some clouds, maybe some virga. That's when it's rain that doesn't hit the ground because it dries up. And then we're going to have some scattered rain and thunder showers for tomorrow and Saturday, and then some isolated ones on Sunday, but it'll probably clear out by then. So we are in a fire watch right now. It was issued yesterday, which I don't really typically see, but I think everyone's a little on edge this season with how dry it is out there already to start. So just made this little graphic based on some of the things the National Weather Service puts into criteria. So a watch is they are critical fire weather conditions are possible. So they're not happening. When they are occurring or about to occur, they will then issue a red flag warning. And this is based on wind speeds, humidity, temperatures, how dry the fuels are out there, and thunderstorm activity. So a lot of these kind of come into play. You don't necessarily need all of them, but you do need certain ones for it to happen. So tomorrow we're going to see thunderstorms. Some of them are going to be producing pretty gusty outflow winds, which we'll talk about in a second. We are uh, have some pretty dry fuels out there. We're going to be above normal temperatures. The humidity is going to be higher because we have this shortwave trough coming through. So, but we will have gusty winds. So let's get into it. A little bit of education. This is a thunderstorm. So with thunderstorms, warm air rises in front of it and builds this storm. And then when it reaches the level where it's saturated, cool, moist air comes down. That might be in the form of rain or hail, depending on what's going on inside the storm. As that cool air descends, it creates these winds that come out in all different directions, or can come out in all different directions. They typically, if this storm in the bottom left graphic here, if it is moving from northwest to southeast, and where the heaviest rain is in the front, is where the gustiest winds will be typically. That's not always the case. It depends on the dynamics of the storm. So when you hear gusty outflow winds, that's what's going on. They're usually isolated around these thunderstorms, but they can travel pretty far out if you have severe storms. What these winds can create after a lightning strike hits the ground, those winds can then fan the fire and create the fire to move pretty quickly, especially when you have those dry fuels out there. So that's kind of what the meteorologists are worried about. All right, looking at our current outlook for fire danger, we are in the high zone. They flipped the sign out by the SNRA. I'm not sure when, but we're in the high danger. There is no fire restrictions as far as I'm aware. I tried to look through their website and didn't see anything. Southeast Idaho is very high. You can see the checkered lines is that we're under that fire watch. Just showing you how dry it is out there. Still, this graphic actually hasn't changed too much if you've been tuning in to our weather forecast. Again, weather watch right now. Some areas are already in a warning for low humidities, and this is likely going to change tomorrow. Looking at the water vapor map, we have this big area of low pressure out to the west. I didn't mark it on the map, but we have high pressure over the four corners there. And then we are going to have this little bit of a trough come through tomorrow. And with that trough, you can see there is a bit of moisture out in the ocean. That's going to come in and help play into these thunderstorm activities tomorrow. And some of this moisture is going to feed in as well in the shortwave trough that's going to be coming through. I wanted to show you the thunderstorm possibility here. So here's like Haley Ketchum areas right on the outskirts of this purple, which is 20 to 30%. As you head into the Sawtooth Valley and the white clouds, it's going to be anywhere from 30 to 50% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Looking at lightning strike or lightning density, really doesn't kick off until about 2 p.m. tomorrow. And you can see it is going to be around the Galena Summit to White Clouds area. This is just one forecast graphic. This is the HRRR forecast for lightning flash density. So that's how many lightning strikes looking to see out of this storm. Now I'll play you the HRRR reflectivity forecast, so how much rain we're going to get. The darker the color, the heavier the rain, and also with that tends to be thunderstorm activity. So this is tomorrow morning, Saturday. You can start to see some rain showers develop kind of in the western Smokies, going into the boulders north of Ketchum. And then by the afternoon, you can start to see these little scattered thunder showers develop again around Galena Summit area. Those do build and move north. You can see right here, this is going to be kind of in the Sawtooth Valley, Sawtooth into the White Clouds area. So some pretty good significant rainfall, and could have some lightning with that as well. So if you're going to the Sawtooth Music Fest, I don't know if that's actually what it's called, could be kind of rainy tomorrow afternoon. Those do seem like they will end around 6 or 8 before some lingering storms. All right, what else I want to talk about? This is the NAM forecast. So just wanted to show you another model for Saturday morning. Kind of shows a little bit more rainfall in the morning. The NAM does a little bit better job in mountainous areas, showing like exactly how much it's going to rain, and a little bit more in depth than the HRRR forecast. But right around 2 and 3, you can see those same thunderstorms. These ones are a little bit further north. So that would be Galena Summit past Stanley. So you can see that's kind of the sweet spot for thunderstorm activity for tomorrow afternoon is Galena Summit up past Stanley. Rainfall amounts, not looking like a ton of rain out of these. There could be isolated more rain than this if it really comes down those thunderstorms. So it would be pretty isolated to the thunderstorm itself. All right. This is pretty long, but I'll go through the 500 millibar charts. So we have that trough form tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow, and then that blows through. Then we get ridging again for next week, so should have pretty calm weather, increased temperatures. I think I read that Boise might be approaching triple digits next week. And then Wednesday, we have another trough system come through that might knock out the temperatures a little bit. But yeah, looking at the temperatures in the Wood River Valley, we will cool off a little bit this weekend into the 70s and then build back up for Wednesday, approaching 90 degrees again.